Sima, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you.
Hey, Zoom went down a little bit ago, so I'm finishing up here with Pamela. So I need maybe like 15 minutes with her, if that's
Okay,
okay.
sounds good.
You
Yeah,
just
yeah, I can
you
I
want to
can reach.
go come back in 15 or so?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
I'll text you if it's something happens.
Sure,
That's
sounds
all
good.
right. All right, I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks.
No worries. Thank you.
Pamela, can you hear me? You just gotta come out if you can. I think I heard something. Can you hear me? Um, it looks like you're unmuted, but you might have the wrong microphone because I don't hear anything.
It's going through my speaker, and I don't know how to take it off of that.
I hear you now, so that's good.
Bring it in here. There. Okay. We got it.
Fair warning, by the way, my internet keeps cutting out.
Oh,
So, if it happens again, we might have to like reschedule, because if my internet goes out, like my cell phone reception here is horrible.
ah,
But we'll see. All right. So I put your email into our system. Oh, you kind of found us kind of recently, yeah?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what these calls are for are to interview for our 6-month Thrive program. Is that why you're here?
Well, yeah, I wanted to know about it. Number one, what does it cost?
It starts at 6,000 and goes up from there.
Well, I can't afford it, so I guess that's
Well,
it.
yeah, the you kind of just found us. The uh let me just kind of I'll give you kind of an overview.
Okay.
Did you ever were you on like the one of the webinars we did on Thrive, or did you see
Yes.
the homework page? Okay.
Well, I did the 7 day, seven day,
Yeah.
I did that.
All right. Well, the on the webinar we say it starts in the mid four figures.
Okay.
Might have missed that, but the here is I'll kind of give you like a quick overview, but there's really like Thrive is a program that we only enroll for like 2 times a year. Um,
Okay.
and so what a lot of people like to start with is the 6-week program. The
Mm-hmm.
6-week program, that's like $297. And you can join that like anytime. Like you can join that like tomorrow, like a week from now if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You just go to brittanywatkins.com and click on work with me.
Okay.
Um, and that's a good one to like kind of start with. And for a lot of people, if you get to the end and you're like, okay, that was good and I want to go deeper, well, there's options. Sometimes it's Thrive, sometimes just getting one-on-one sessions.
Mm-hmm.
The when it comes to Thrive, it's like you'll know when it's like when you're ready for Thrive.
Mm-hmm. I would
Um,
think so.
but I'm gonna write down my cell phone number.
Okay.
So I'm Britt's business partner.
Okay.
Um, and I want you to, if you have any trouble doing the 6-week, let me know. But also text me when you finish the 6-week. And we'll be done enrolling for Thrive, so I won't have anything to sell you, but we can chat and I could see where you're at and kind of point you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's 415-873-4854.
4854. Okay.
Yeah. Um, Say it again.
Um, was gonna say what I did do, the 7 day deal. I I cannot believe the changes in me. I absolutely love donuts. And I was going to do a job this morning. I had a friend with me, and she asked if we could run through the drive-through in the donut shop. I said, sure. Got there and she got a donut. She said, what do you want? I said, I really don't want anything. I had no interest at all. So I didn't have
That's
one.
sweet.
And I'm noticing that my portions are smaller. I used to just want sugar all the time. I really could care less. It's-
Man, if you I love hearing that. The biggest challenge we have is trying to explain that this stuff works. The only thing we could do is show people. So
Mhm,
the 7 day, and so just wait when the 6 week. Here's my advice with the 6 week before I let you go is um the 7 day, the 6 week is all recorded.
oh,
So once you join, lesson one is available,
mhm,
and you can go through it like on your own time. The 7 day challenge, if we just gave everyone, because that's recorded as well, but if we
mhm.
just gave everyone links to the recordings, they could do it on their own. Most wouldn't do it. When they have to
Right.
show up at a certain time, and so I remember reading a stat. It was like 80% of people quit their New Year's resolution by the second Friday in
Yeah.
January.
Yep.
Well, 80% of people don't finish the 6 week. 50% don't even start it because they do it on their own. So if
Uh,
you join the 6 week, make sure you like play full out and set an intention to do it, right?
mhm.
So, and yeah, just text me once you get to the end of the 6 week. We'll have a deeper conversation. This actually works good for me because I almost texted you to reschedule just because I got a message like 30 minutes ago. I got to go deal with the family issue right
Oh,
now.
okay.
But yeah, you seem like a sweetheart. I love hearing stories
Oh,
of our
thank you.
work, like helping people. Man, just wait. It's gonna get
Yeah,
even
I know.
better.
Well, I feel like if it's working this much, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
Oh yeah,
You
just
have to be ready to accept what you're doing, and I'm ready.
here's here's the challenge though, is we call it self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Britt uses the word self-sabotage. I use the word payoff, which is if you have a goal, take any goal, like weight loss, starting a business. If you try the goal and no matter what you do, you can never like reach that goal, you
Mm-hmm.
have at least one, if not multiple payoffs somewhere for you not to get that
Exactly.
goal.
What are you getting out of it? Yeah, definitely.
So, and it's unconscious too. So people might consciously want to lose weight, but for some, the weight is a protection mechanism, right? Or, and it's usually unconscious. That's
Mm-hmm.
why is like people join the 6 week and they might do lesson one, but they don't do lesson two because it's self-sabotage. So just set an intention to do it.
Well, sometimes it's too hard. What comes up and what happens to you, like that first day or the second day, all I could do was cry. I just cried and cried and cried. I felt so abandoned and all those things that we talked about. That's all I could do. Well, a lot of people don't want to deal with it that way. They don't want to go through it. It's painful. That's why they put it all inside and locked it there.
Yeah, see you understand this. That's what emotional eating is you're escaping a negative emotion. And the thing is everyone has a drug. When I
Hmm.
met Britt, I was an emotional drug user. Food was just one of them. But
Right.
some will if they want to escape and everyone's got a drug. Some it's shopping, some
Hmm.
it's
I used to smoke.
Netflix, social media. Some it's porn. Some it's just
Hmm.
it's different. So yeah, I gotta jump off. I wish I had more time. You
And
you seem like a super charming person. I like people like
oh,
you.
thank you. Can you make payments on the 6 weeks deal?
I think you can. Let's see. Uh, well, I'll have to ask my tech guy.
Okay.
Um, uh, um, Uh, yeah. I'll have to ask my tech guy, and ask him, but I know we used to have an option for that somewhere.
Okay, if you can just let me know, because I may be able to do that and sign up like right away.
Yeah. I think you can. Plus it's got a 90-day money back guarantee,
Right.
which is like good, but you'll trust me,
I won't want it back. I
yeah,
already know.
you're gonna, because you'll wanna keep it, you'll wanna, like, you'll have access to it for life.
Wow.
So you'll always go through it. So all right, girl, hugs. We'll chat
All
soon.
right. Thank you. Okay.
All
Right.
right,
Bye bye.
bye. Hey,
Oh,
so what do I call you? Simona,
Simona's good.
Sima,
Yeah,
what
Simona's perfect.
Simona? Perfect. All right. Um, let's see. I just put your email into our system. So, you kind of found us like earlier this year, it looks like.
Yeah, I did. It was funny because I actually went off social media for the last few months and then like for
Oh my
personal reasons
goodness.
and then was like, okay, I need to like I'm over what happened and like time to, whatever, go back into the real world, quote unquote. And then literally as soon as I re-downloaded Instagram, like the first thing I saw was Britney's advertisement. And I was like, wow, maybe this is a sign from God that that I downloaded it at the right time. And I went through the like 1 week like webinar series. I'm not sure what the name was, but it was just like an introduction about her program and really, really liked it actually. And then ended up buying the 6 week long program, which I'm now doing. And I'm on week 5, and I have to say, like, there's like ups and downs. Like I feel like I lose some weight, I gain it back, and like definitely this week, there's a lot of work to do with the dealing with the sexual attention module. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm finding it a bit, I guess, like difficult in terms of like the emotional eating. Like I still feel like I'm overeating. Like I feel like there's some self-sabotage still going on. And then like also this week, I feel like I've cleared a lot of things, but obviously I'm not done with it. Haven't done like all the tapping strips, and then there's one more week left ahead. But yeah, that is to say, like I feel like there's progress being made, but somehow there's like the memories that I'm coming back to are all kind of around the same age, and it's sometimes feel like it's kind of like I can't push it through myself for a lack of better terminology. And yeah, I mean, like I yeah just saw like Brittany's emails like every week, and then saw this email.
Well, one of the things that I got to give you props. Um, one of my frustrations with the 6 week is just us as humans. We suck sometimes. We self-sabotage things. Like I remember reading a stat which was like 80% of people quit their New Year's resolution by the second Friday
Oh wow.
in January, and it's the 80% is the number percentage of people who don't make it to the end of the 6 week. 50% don't even start it, just
Yeah,
because
no,
of
I am very seriously driven for this, I have to say.
I get you're one of those ones where, I'm not psychic, but after Britt kind of healed me, I can be with people. And I wish there was technology where I could give you a hug over Zoom.
That, yeah,
Like
would be
I
great.
can tell like I can tell you like you have different personalities. One of your thing is you're like super charming and fun, but I can also tell you're like kind of going through some stuff right now.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is
And
true.
it's like nervous laughter a little bit,
Yeah,
you know. And I mean, it's just, when I met Brett, everyone thought my life was great. I'm multimillionaire, charming person on stage, all these things. But the only reason I didn't kill myself is what it would do to my mom. Like, not saying that's you, but when you said you got off social media, people don't get off social media like to take a break. Usually it's like they need to turn the world off or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed to do. Yeah. I mean,
Well,
for context, yeah, I don't mind sharing. I'm a pretty open person, but a friend of mine passed away, and he was a very famous chess player, and I also play chess. And this is just
oh
someone.
snap. You're like, so you're like, you're way smarter than me. So
No,
great.
not at all, not at all. But yeah, it really, I think, deeply just hit me. Like I was not okay for like several weeks, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, it honestly just killed me seeing like all these comments that I was reading and like how all of a sudden everyone was, like his best friend, quote unquote. And I'm like, well, thousands of people, like you all don't know him. Like I really don't want to be seeing this and reading this. So I was like, yeah, enough. Like enough's enough. If I read one more thing, like I can't keep the tears in my eyes. And yeah, so I was like, yeah, I need to go offline for a bit. And then like a few months later, I finally felt like a person again. So I was like, okay, now's the time uh to come back. Let's put it this way.
Well, so what you're the most everyone who applied for the inner circle, there was an error where it was supposed to go out to people who finished our 6-month Thrive program. You don't technically have to do the Thrive program before like you do the inner circle. But it's usually like um, if you try to tell someone like we could do tapping and it'll help somebody lose weight or change their relationship with food, they're like, oh yeah, whatever. But then we have them do a 7-day challenge and they're like, oh, okay, man, something changed. And then they do like the 6 week and stuff. Um, like most people, if we tell them like just being around Brit, like all of our programs are designed because we can't clone Brittany. If we could clone Brit, we wouldn't need a 6 week, we wouldn't need Thrive, we wouldn't
Yeah.
need all that stuff. So we say like working with Brit for a year, like people who've done Thrive, plus people who've done Thrive, they got their weight and food issues done. Inner Circle is meant to like work on every area of your life, right? You don't technically have to. Um, but yeah, I'm curious and I'm gonna go get my water real quick.
Of
But
course, yeah.
I'll just be 30 seconds. But what intrigued you about the 6 week? What called to you when you read that or the inner circle? Sorry.
Uh, yeah, I'll wait for for you to come back.
I should have told you I have my AirPods in so I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't hear me with the microphone. So yeah, it's probably weird. Like tell me, and then I just leave.
No,
So
okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you had AirPods. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like everything is very interconnected, and I would say that I am the type of person who, wants everything and I want it now. I'm very like goal oriented and like results driven in most of my areas, the areas of my life. And recently, like in the last, year or so, I've kind of just been thinking more broadly, like why am I pursuing this major? Why am I pursuing this job that I'm currently in? Like this is not really the lifestyle that I'm searching for, but for some reason, like I'm listening to, people telling me what to do and not really listening to myself, but I'm still doing it. And then it's kind of like the same thing with food. I mean, it, goes back to my parents, like telling me what I can, what I cannot wear, what I shouldn't eat, these sorts of things. And I'm sort of seeing the same pattern, not just in my relationship with food, but like in my, why I'm, working in finance, which is where I'm at right now. But realistically, no, I don't want to be sitting in front of Excel and PowerPoint 24/7 doing financial modeling.
dude, my fiance is in finance. She does contracts and she doesn't play chess, but people don't realize with like AI, AI is going to be able to do that in like two, like it can do it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
a lot of these things can be outsourced for sure.
it's
And like, unless it's a client-facing role or, I'm a first-year analyst for context. So I, definitely have a few more years until I actually have some more importance to me than just being like the
well, what do you want to do?
in an ideal world, like I would, work remotely first, like have my own, I don't know, some sort of business, some sort of like online selling. Like I feel like for me, any sort of sales, any sort of like literally selling anything, whether it's a physical product, a digital product, I don't care what it is, something that really speaks to me. I just haven't really thought about how to manifest this into reality. And like I know I'm good with both quantitative, qualitative aspects, which is why I'm so far, knock on wood, fine in the job that I'm in. But I just don't find joy. I really don't. I don't have the personality, as I said, to, quietly, just sit and without questions asked, work in Excel all day. Anyways, long story short, so yeah, for me, like I see the same sort of patterns that are kind of like stemming within me, but I'm not really sure what the problem is within me. Like, what is it that's causing me to not be content with how I look, with what I'm doing? Because if, look at it from the outside, like I'm living in Chicago, like I have a pretty good life, knock on wood. Like I can support myself. I, have a healthy family, thank God, healthy friends, etc., etc. But something's just not enough. And yeah, and I don't know what it is inside that, I can't tap into by myself, or at least that I still can't tap into after a month of doing this program. Uh, and I just
Man,
really
I'm
liked
gonna
how
I know with your I know your personality. I know exactly how to explain the problem here in a minute. Have you done any like personal development or like any inner work at all or anything like that?
I took another course, this is like a year ago or so, about like also to help with like weight problems, but the point of the course was not to like diet or restrict yourself or like any of the, whatever fad crazy diets. It was more so like learning to love yourself from the inside and focusing more so on the inside, and the outside reflects what's on the inside, things like that. And that really spoke to me, but I did her techniques, I did whatever, the journaling and the, meditating and like the morning exercises, whatever, whatever. But again, like couldn't see the results that she's talking about or that some of her students have reached. And so for me, like this just isn't deep enough of like, okay, I can, journal and write down that I'm thankful for having, a healthy body and for having a working brain and yeah, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that was the only
Well,
other thing that
so
I
I'm gonna go off on a few like tangents. First of all, have you heard like my story and how Brett like kind of,
I
you
did.
know,
Yes. Yes, yes.
so I'm gonna go off on different things. One of the things for you is to me the best business to go into, especially with AI, is like heal yourself and then take other people on that journey.
Hmm.
The when I met Britt, this was like 12 years ago now. I had retired. My superpower is like helping people in the coaching world or healing world just kind of build businesses online. Like even Tony
Hmm.
Robbins uses my framework for how he sells his coaching programs. And but like when I met Britt, like I said, everyone was like, "Your life's great," but the only reason I didn't kill myself is my mom. Like here's me. I was this emotional drug user just trying to cope. But at the time, I had done more personal development in my life. Like I did Tony Robbins at 16. I kept trying to improve my life, start businesses. It kept something was always missing in my
Hmm.
life, right? No matter like what I did, it didn't like kind of provide that fulfillment. The thing you kind of remind me of the female version of me a little bit. Like you, I can tell you're deeper than most. Like, I'm not psychic, but just laugh if I'm right. When most people are talking, do you wish you could fast forward, because you know where they're going with stuff?
Yes.
It's like what most people are interested in is like, I'm sure certain conversations kind of bore you a little bit. The
How do you know this? Yeah. I always joke that, like I can fall asleep on a date if I if I am not interested. But it's true, I do get bored quite easily with not super intellectual people.
Well, I mean, you play chess, and so it's like, it's you chess people are they're very good. There's like left brain, right brain. Left brain is like linear, like you're able to like, see how things work, you use first principles, you use data, use all that stuff. Now the challenge is like if we had a problem solving exercise, I'd have you tackle it first. The challenge is the problems, the areas where there's problem in your life, you can't solve it with that part of the brain. And so I'll give you the analogy we use. Because like I said, I did more personal development than anyone, therapy, different stuff, but I couldn't like, and me with my business, I got really lucky. Like I found a mentor. I didn't like become successful, like by me being a genius. It was like, I mean, I basically won the lottery. Like I always joke where I'm like, let me tell you the story of how, I went from living in my parents' basement at 24 to making my first million by 25. It's like step one, it's like be good looking. Step two, don't be ugly. Step three, be a genius, or whatever. Step four is like before you're born, make sure you pick your parents that let you live with them until like 24 and give you money to start businesses, right? Then when you lose all your money at 31, live with them again. Step five is like try to start a business, keep messing up, then basically win the lottery of all lotteries and find like someone in a 1 in a million chance that is a mentor. It's like, but I still couldn't like figure out my life. And so when Britt like said she would help me, I was like, okay. But here's how we explain it. So you like intellectual, right? Do you ever study like philosophy or anything like that?
I
Um,
studied economics, not
well, you
super
you know
intellectual.
Socrates, right?
Yes, of course, yes.
He's got a good quote on this. He calls it the horse and the horse rider. When you go by a campfire and it makes like a popping sound or a crackle?
Hmm.
Well, that doesn't scare you, right? But imagine the horse like flips the fuck out, thinks there's like predators nearby. Like, there's nothing to be scared of. You can't go explain to the horse with your super smart chest brain and explain, like, oh, it's just that's what wood does. You can't use language. So, in the same vein, humans are like 95% horse. The horse is just an example of like the unconscious, right? Where, you think like you're one entity. No, you have like thousands of these little horses. And so the thing is like, well, how does the horse get programmed? Well, 65% of these programs come before age 7, but that's why like if you watch a video of me at 5, my fiance is like, "Yep, there's that little fucker." Right? If I watch a video of my fiance at like 6, I see that completely stubborn, like can't take no, always has to be right woman that I love. It was there. But like take Jane, she gets picked last at dodgeball when she's like 7. In that moment, she feels not good enough or not worthy. Now, that can stick with you like your whole life. Um, you could be watching a movie or a TV show and you like the main character and they're in trouble, and then you start feeling that feeling, right? But now let's say Jane's like 40 or something and she wants to lose weight. Well, that's her like conscious goal, but like Britt uses the word self-sabotage, I use the word payoff. Like if you have a goal of say starting a business, losing weight, and you can't you can't get that goal, something always happens. You have at least one, if not multiple payoffs somewhere for you not to get it, right? So, hold on one second. I'm getting a call on my business phone. I need to let me turn this off because it's going to keep ringing in my ear. Um, hold on one second. Okay. So let me go back to this page. So if Jane's like 40, she could consciously want to lose weight, but you know what one of her biggest fears is losing the weight and she feels good, but her friends and family still don't treat her as worthy, right? And that's unconscious. So she has like two competing goals. One's conscious, one, and this is kind of your life though. You actually have like thousands of these. It's almost like a dog with an invisible fence, right? You have thousands of these invisible fences. And so, like we did this with Britt on the webinar the other day, we kind of just went through how she got programmed. Needs were often ignored, had to fend for herself. That creates the belief my needs don't matter, others will not provide for me. Everyone has this belief to some degree, the world is a dangerous place, So by the time you're an adult, like these things are just constantly running. They're not running all the time, but it feels like this. We talk about the horse and the horse rider. It's like, it's you can consciously want to do something, but it's all these things like are kind of it's like an invisible thing that just influences you a little bit. Now, the this analogy is for you. See, this I wrote that inner circle letter. This was the original one. Britt wanted to take a lot of the stuff out because it went over people's heads, rightfully so. But like for you, you're deep. You can get this. Here's the biggest challenge is why is it so hard to figure this stuff out? It's like take the chief of police. There's someone robbing the city in the middle of the night, and he's like, we got to get this guy. Gets everyone on there and starts looking, but imagine a plot twist of all plot twists. Have you ever taken like Ambien before?
No, what's that?
Ambien's like a sleep drug. I took it shuts off a part of your brain. That was what Tiger Woods was famous for taking, but I took an Ambien like 10 years ago and I woke up and I basically called my mom, I texted and emailed people, and I had no conscious memory of it. Like, people who have trouble with like emotional eating is they'll take Ambien, they'll be eating in the fridge, they don't remember, right? But
Yeah.
imagine the chief of police takes an Ambien and he actually is like robbing the city in the middle of the night. Now, he's never gonna like think in a one in a million years that like, let me see if I'm stealing, right? He's never, if there's no evidence, someone could be like, have you looked at yourself? He's like, are you crazy? And so that's the problem, right? Which is your super fast part of your brain is like, when you're with friends and family, you know how to fix their problem before they do. When you're with people at dinner and they don't stimulate you, that part of your mind, it's just your brain works fast. The stuff where your life doesn't work, you're not an insight away from solving it, right? And so I'm going to give you an exercise to kind of show this. You're kind of you've gotten like really present, and when we first started, you were kind of bouncing. Now you're kind of like quiet. Is your brain like starting to like think of stuff?
I just like to listen.
All right, so now I'm gonna do a little exercise with you, okay? Before we do, give me the name of one of your all-time favorite people to be around. Like time moves fast.
Stassi, she's my best friend.
What's your name?
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Okay. All right, so now give me the opposite. We all have at least one. If they were walking down the street, you'd hide to avoid them.
Maybe my ex.
Name?
An origin.
You
Nuge.
you
And
have friends
Nuge.
with like weird people's names. What's his name?
Nuge. N-U-J. That's how you spell it.
N-U-J. Man, your name is like you got a movie star name.
Thank you.
All right, Nedge, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
Nuge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a concept. Now, when I give you this concept, your brain's gonna tell you it gets it. The more you the more you sit with this later today, tomorrow, even over the next like year, you're gonna start to see it everywhere. I did this with Britt. It took her like a day, but she's like, this is how we have to explain this now. It just goes over most people's heads. So there's a concept that it influences your state of mind more than anything. It influences how you are with me right now. It influences what you procrastinate on versus what you love doing. It influences everything. It influences how you were at the beginning of this call versus now. That concept that influences you more than anything is how something occurs for you. All right. So I'm going to explain it a few different ways. Let's say like we're in person and you're making a cake for something and you need a knife. Well, if I have one, I slowly hand it to you. How do you take it? You just kind of slowly. But if I go like this, like I'm going to chuck it at you, you put your hands up or you duck, right?
Right.
But what if I say, I swear I won't throw it? Like, does that change how you react? No, you still put your hands up. If I say, like, I'm going to chuck this at your face, but I slowly do this, do you put your hands up? No, this occurs as safe, this occurs as dangerous, and you can't outthink it, right? Let me say it a different way. My office is completely messy. It's embarrassing. My fiance's office is like the cleanest thing in the world. That's because cleaning occurs for me as daunting, but for her, it's necessary. I could read 50 books on cleaning. I could go to a 7-day cleaning retreat. I could hire a cleaning consultant. Does not change the fact that the only time I clean is when she needs like a gun or kick me out of the house. And I still need like stimulants to do it, right? So, like, how something occurs for you is 99% of how you do it. It's the reason why you do anything. You know, when you're at dinner with people and they bore you, well, they occur for you as a certain way, and like that's how they show up. So, close your eyes for a second, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Like, I might say, what does the beach feel like? I don't need a verbal answer. That's really just to kind of draw attention, but just kind of bring your awareness to the bottom of your left foot and just feel it. Now, kind of bring your awareness to the top of your right index finger. Now, kind of be aware of like the air or the, sounds that are around you. Now, I want you to imagine we're kind of hanging out and there's a knock at the door and I go get it. And I'm like, hey, Anastasia's here. Can she come in? And then we hear footsteps and I'm like, hey, Nej is here. He's adamant he wants to see you. Can he come in? Now, keep your eyes closed, but give me a verbal yes or no. Is there a difference, but essence between those two people?
Yes.
Now, just sit with this for a second. Now, if I put a gun to your head and said, I need you to feel gratitude for Nedge or animosity for Anastasia, you couldn't do that. You might imagine hugging Nedge or punching Anastasia, but I mean feel. But keep your eyes closed. This is basically your life. Moment to moment, your entire life occurs to you a certain way that you have no control over. It's basically programming. This is what emotional eating is. Everyone has a drug for when they don't feel comfortable in their own skin. They're anxious, they don't feel safe, they're fearful, and they have to escape. Some shop, some drink, doesn't matter. But this is also your life too. Think about things you procrastinate on versus things you love doing. You can't use your super smart brain to like get you to do it. This is why by the end of Thrive, like life just occurs as a dance. Like you're able to be in any situation, like you'd be able to be around Nedge and like you just feel sorry for him. You don't like usually I would imagine if you're like most people, you talk to them or something, like you have to, and then like for 3 days you're like wanting like you're telling your friends how he's still a piece of shit because it just sticks with you. This is how people start a business, they put it off. But this is what it's like when you really heal this trauma. You start getting rid of these invisible fences everywhere in your life. You can open your eyes. But this is really the work. Do you ever notice how people that are dumber than you can do things you can't do?
Yeah,
It's
I've seen this.
it's just because your brain is really good at analyzing data, but and you could do calculus, problem solving, you could do chess, but the areas where your life doesn't work is not a chess piece away from being fixed. It's all like 90% of it, how something occurs for you is unconscious, and you don't have memories of how it, was. Did any of that resonate with you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I agree. I agree.
Now, what I'm telling you is you understand it. Like that's your super fast chess brain being like, yeah, I get it. The thing is, you need this to digest. Like anytime you feel less than neutral later today, tomorrow, or the next few days, kind of like ask yourself, be like, how is this occurring for me? And can I overwrite it with your mind?
Mhm.
And like you'll start really seeing this everywhere. It's almost like a good news, bad news thing, which is like bad news is like you're trapped in this paradigm. The good news is it's not your fault and you can change it, but it's an undoing process. Just kind of like someone can, like if someone came to me and it's like, oh, cleaning's easy, you just gotta like break it up in chunks. I'm like, fuck you, right? Or if like you're out to dinner with someone who doesn't stimulate you, it's just like, just give them a chance, right? So people in their life, when their life doesn't work, they try personal development, they go to therapy, but it's the same thing as like, don't like, don't be afraid, right? It doesn't work that way. So, when I'm gonna send you some stuff on the inner circle. To me, oh crap, we're actually give me 1 second. I pushed the call back a little bit, but she's already in here early. Let me just tell her I need like 5 more minutes with you. I'll be right back. All right. Stay right there. Okay, sorry about that. She
No
had a
worries.
couple minutes trouble because we couldn't get Zoom to work.
Okay.
So when it comes to like if people want to like, go further than the 6 week and they really want to like do this stuff, um, like normally if someone just joined the 6 week and they applied for either Thrive or especially the Inner Circle, um, I I tell them to come back later, because for them to like most people it's like pulling teeth to get them to see they have blind spots and that they like they need more than just like a course or something. You're someone who's like deep, and so for the last 10 years it's been either the 6 week program or the 6 month Thrive program. And so the 6 week is just you're doing 6 lessons. Thrive is 6 months and you're working on like 90% of your blind spots, right?
Mhm.
So to do that is everyone goes through kind of the same lessons, and but then you have your own private coach that does sessions with you. You're meeting with Britt twice a month where it's on a big group, but she checks in with each person, does some tapping, tells them things to work on. You do the program with buddies and things like that. Thrive, we enroll like 2 times a year. We've actually been enrolling for this one for the last like 3 weeks. It would take me, like an hour to explain Thrive with all the stuff in there. I can send you kind of more details.
Yeah,
But
that'd be great.
Thrive starts at 6,000, goes up to about like 12,000 for different things.
Mhm.
And it's been the only other option is to basically work with Britt with private one-on-one sessions for like 45 grand. She hasn't worked with private one-on-one sessions in like 3 years. This inner circle is the first program we've created in about 10 years. And this is working directly with Britt. Like I was saying, all of our programs are designed because we can't clone Brittany. And so for me to tell you what's in the inner circle, it'll take me like less than a minute. So the inner circle is um, it's starting mid-March. We did a little 90-day program and it was meant to be a one-time thing. Britt's like, she's like, this is the greatest thing in the world. So here's what the 90-day program is. Every Monday, 20 women will meet with Britt on Zoom,
Mhm.
and each person gets a chance to come out to work with Britt, right? So you're gonna in Thrive, we need people to like go through the content to kind of shake things up, and then you have one-on-one coaching. That way, by the time you get to Britt, you've kind of done some stuff to like you got to do your homework, do that stuff. In this program, Inner Circle, you just show up and work with Britt where you're at, right? When the reason why the email to the Inner Circle went out to people in Thrive is like they know that because Thrive has laser coaching where everyone works with Britt for a little bit. People know
Mhm.
when you work with Britt, you get rid of this stuff faster. So that's every Monday. And then there's a private WhatsApp group where all 20 women kind of communicate. We have people in there like, and plus there's five of Britt's like team in there where nutritionist or business coaching or things like that. Like Britt's like, she's been texting me nonstop. She's like, this one's starting a yoga studio. This one's writing a book. And so then there's like office hours, but I'll send you the pamphlet on all this stuff.
Thank
And
you.
the other program we have is called the coach certification. That's really to get trained in Britt's method. That for someone like you with your personality, you could easily make like 20 grand a month working like 10 hours a week doing coaching. That's my superpower, like I was saying, is because I help each one of the coaching cert people like launch their coaching business, right? And so when I say coaching, that means like working with people, healing them, and you don't have to do it with like weight or food issues. You could help. We have coaches helping teenage girls find themselves or mid-level execs, who are burnt out and stuff like that. So the inner circle, like I said, the Thrive program, that starts at 6, goes up to 12. The inner
Mhm.
circle, there's three options for it. Um, you could do a 90-day container of it, and that's about 8 grand if you pay in full, or you could do three payments at 29.97. Or there's the yearly option if you wanted to work with Brett for a year. Those
Mhm.
are for people the like in Thrive by the end of 6 months, like we're gonna do a whole $100,000 bet to the entire weight loss and food industry with Thrive. If you have weight and food issues, like that'll take 6 weeks to 2 months with Brett, like in the inner circle. But then you start working on like all the other areas of your life. And someone like you, I could just tell you right now, and I'm not trying to sell you, like I'm gonna send you away and go read this stuff to get back to me. You're one of those ones where like you're not gonna be satisfied with like what everyone else is satisfied. If you're not living like your best life, that's what the inner circle is meant for. Like, if I told you who some of Britt's private clients are, you wouldn't believe me. It's for people like you, how things occur for you. You want life to occur as like a dance, right? So, that's silver, and then gold would get you unlimited one-on-one private sessions with a coach. All
Mhm.
right. Now, the thing is, I've just given you a ton of information. The thing is, most people who come to these calls have either done Thrive, so I don't need to explain Thrive. But the ones who've done, I don't really need to explain the inner circle either. And so what I want you to do is I'm going to send you a couple of things. I'm going to send you a document, um, of the inner circle. Now, normally, um, because the inner circle for 90 days is kind of close to the first option of Thrive. Normally I would tell people if they still have weight and food issues as their main thing, I'd be like, just do Thrive, because that's kind of what it's like focused on. Just how deep you are, and like you're not gonna, you don't need a lot of stuff in Thrive. Like you're not gonna, like you're kind of a deeper person and you're smarter than most people. You're not gonna resonate with a lot of the buddies, for example, in Thrive. You don't need the buddies. You don't need to go through all the lessons. You just need to work on the like stuff that's your blind spots. But most people I would say do Thrive first and then maybe look at the inner circle. You just need to get around Brett, because someone with your like level of depth, it's kind of like the more you pull back a bow and arrow and you let go, it just kind of shoots. You like it's just hard to explain. Like if we had a time machine with you and you could see what would happen work with Brett, you wouldn't fucking sleep. But if any of that stuff resonated with you, we talked about earlier, I think you get it. So what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna or I already texted you. Is Let me send this to you really quick, the pamphlet. So with the inner circle, we've already brought in like 12. So this won't last. I mean, we'll fill it by like Monday.
Okay, yeah,
So you
makes
gotta
sense.
definitely let me kind of know soon. But yeah, you're one of those ones where like we don't reach out, we don't try to sell. If anyone has any doubt, we say go away. I've turned 4 people down. You're one of those ones where I do want to reach out, but I won't.
Thank
So
you.
uh, let me send this to you, and then just get back to me.
Perfect. And
I want you
also,
to
while I
sit.
have you on,
Yeah,
I will definitely think about everything we talked about today. So I really appreciate you and your time. That's very generous of you. And
it is.
yeah,
I
like
bestowed my
while I
time to you. You're welcome.
while I have you on call, I know so throughout the 6 week program, Brittany mentions like many times that like, oh, if you guys are facing like any difficulties, any challenges, just reach out to support at brittanywatkins.com. I think that's the email address. And like we can, set you up with a coach. Is that like different or that's an addition? Like how does that
Yeah,
work?
the 6 week program,
Like, for
the
example, if I want to meet with a coach to tap on, like, specifically the, whatever, dealing with sexual attention, for example, module, that's different or that's not, yeah, how does that work?
it's
Just
well,
yeah.
for the 6 week is just kind of do it like on your own. There's not coaches that come like with the 6 week.
I
It's
see. I see.
the when someone joins the 6 week for 297, we usually lose about like $220 on each sale. That's because like it costs that much in ads for someone to join that.
Hmm.
And so if you want coaching, we don't really like selling coaching to we definitely don't sell coaching, one-on-one coaching to people who just kind of found us without doing like a 6 week or something. If you want to do coaching, it's like you could do like one a month or something, like it's like $300, or you could do 12 for like 2 grand. But usually what we tell people is like definitely do Thrive. That's one of the ones where it's like, because the thing with one-on-one coaching is if all this stuff is unconscious, if you go start working on a coach, you start working on the things you think is the issue, right? And you might have, but if you know like the sexual abuse stuff,
Hmm.
it's good to kind of work with the coach. So you can try like getting a session, just reach out to support. It's like
I
$300 or
see.
something
I
like
see.
that.
Okay.
The other thing you could look at is doing, there's the inner circle, or sorry, the tapping circle. And what that does is it's like because if we could make Thrive cheaper, we would. Like the profit on that, if someone joins the lowest, it's like $900. The tapping circle is a good kind of, I think it's like you can do a trial. It's like 149 a month. But what that does is that gets you, you get access to like a community, but then there's also group coaching calls where you
Hmm.
can jump on and kind of work with the coach. But I also know sexual abuse isn't fun to, first of all, talking to it with a man is probably every woman's like favorite thing. So I understand that. But also talking to it in front of I'm being sarcastic, and talking to it in front of a group is not it's hard to like really dig deep with that stuff.
Yeah, that
So
makes
you could
sense.
definitely try doing like a one-on-one session, but I'm
Hmm.
telling you, like Thrive, but the inner circle, working with Brett, like she'll, man, I just, I, I think here's what I'm struggling with. I think like you're deeper than most. You have a lot more potential. Like me, when I'm with people, I don't listen to them for who they are, who they think. I listen to them for like their possibility. You're just this fucking like potential rock star. Like you don't even know
Too kind.
how much power you have access to. That's why I'm like, yeah, go heal the sexual abuse, but dear God, like you have all this untapped potential. Like that you need to just get rid of all the blocks that stop you from that untapped potential, and just start living a life. There's a good quote on this where in the West, everyone says, "What do you do for a living?" Right? In the East, in Japan, they have a word for this, which is like, why do you get up in the morning? Like, do you get up every morning where it's like, yes, another day where I get to like do my passion moment to moment? Or is it like, I got to deal with this fucking dumbass world? You're laughing because it's,
At the moment, it's the latter.
yeah. And just doing a one-on-one session and healing the sexual abuse isn't going to get you up. And it'll definitely, a handful of dirt muddies the whole water.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mean to say like that's not a big issue that you shouldn't heal, but that's just the tip of the iceberg with you. You're just, this is the longest call I've had in 3 days. And usually if people just join the 6 week, I send them off. That's for a reason.
I appreciate it, really. Thank you. And I mean, yeah, if you can send me the information, I think the email from this call is more than fine. That would be amazing.
Yeah, the other thing I'll tell you too, you know when we did that exercise where how things occur for you?
Hmm.
You'll probably agree that how the conversation occurred to you with me, is different now than how it was at the beginning. Yeah.
For sure. Of course.
You feel safer with me. We build affinity. You also can kind of see like, oh, this work, I can actually see how this work can help. As soon as we get off here, your software is going to go back to normal of how doing this work occurs for you. It's like, nah, now's not the right time, or, it's that software. Pay attention to this. I'm telling you, like, if we had a time machine and we put you in it, and not even the inner circle, if it was just Thrive and you could see who you'd become in 6 months, you wouldn't fucking sleep tonight. And if I told you it was like 200 grand, you'd find a way to get me 200 grand, even if you had to rob a bank. It's just handful of dirt muddies the whole water, so it's hard to see the possibilities.
Yeah. You're right.
So
You're right.
I know I'm a genius. All right, girl. I gotta jump off, but yeah, go through that stuff. Text me, and we just text me again here in a few weeks, even if you don't join. We'll have a deeper conversation.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate it.
Now, I have a fiance, so I'm not hitting on you, but if we were on a date, would you think would I be stimulating enough with conversation, or would I bore
I
you?
think you're a really deep person. So for me, that's what, yeah, interests
You're
me
the
or
female.
disinterests me in people. I'll
You're the
say that.
female version of me. But here's what I'll tell you is like how something occurs for you is how life shows up. Like when I got to the point where like just most people bored me. I saw people as ignorant. I'm just like, how is this interesting to you and stuff like that. After Brit, I'm just in love with the world. Like you
And
find
that's how I want to
like
feel. Let me put it this way.
yeah, you find joy and love in like the dumb people. It's like a dog where, you know, you come home and they're just like, I love you. You don't have to do anything. You just like when you're not dealing with this shit and when you're with people, you sense suffering in them. Like you sense the lack of joy and the lack of, and it's just you feel for them. It's hard to explain, but you just when you clear this stuff, you just become in love and enamored with life. It's amazing. So, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you,
Find a
Jimmy.
way.
Thank
All
you.
right, go.
Of
Bye.
course. Of course. Bye.
Hey girl, how are you? Is everything all right? Yeah, some doctors are very like, you know, mechanical, scientific, and it's like they gotta like dot the T's, dot the I's. My fiance went through that when she got a new doctor too, and it was like, can't she just like like, can't she just listen to me and I'll tell her everything she needs to know? It's like frustrating. Yeah, well, it's you made it. You made it. So let me see here. If you I got about like 15 minutes here. If you want, you can jump back on Zoom. Or we could just do the phone. I can try putting this. Let me try charging this again. Did so they said it's good to go or uh yeah, it's what I'll try it. Because sometimes they'll do it and it's like, you know, for 24 hours or something. If it doesn't go through, what I'll do is I'll just send you a PayPal invoice. That way it's like you can try it on your end and then if something happens, you could, you know, call them again and try it. That way it's like I don't have to be there to do it because if like you call them and they try it, but then I'm away from my computer, it would just be easier. So we can try it real quick here. Um, are you are you still excited or like you it's like it's taken so long you forgot what we talked about and it's like the oh yeah, that Thrive program. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I love hearing stuff like that because most people, and by the way, that payment did go through. So I'm gonna the last thing I need from you is just there we have a non-disclosure agreement that our lawyers make us sign. You know, when you go to the store and then you see a product and there's like a weird warning on the box where it says warning, don't, eat this or stick this up your butt or something. It's not because people do that. It's because there's lawyers out there that'll be like, you didn't put a warning on there, so you have to sign that we're not licensed therapists, this isn't therapy. Um, so I just emailed that to you. And you could do that here in the next like hour. It's just a digital signature. It'll take you 3 minutes. And then just text me once you do that, and then I'll get your account created. And there's really like three. Actually, do you want to jump on Zoom and I'll kind of show you what the members area looks like and what I want you to do today? I'll email you the link. I got about like 9 minutes here. But I'll email you the link right now and then I'll see you on here. All right, see you soon, girl. It's happening. Mhm. Okay. Okay, you just gotta, oh, you're connecting to the audio. All right, now you just gotta unmute. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you. All right. So, now that you're on here, I'll show you this in a second, but you gotta send me what you wrote. Did you write it with your hand or did you type it?
Oh, I wrote it with my hand
Send
because
me a
I,
picture. I love that stuff because most people, it's like forgiveness is like one of the it's like usually it's the hardest thing to do just because it's like unconscious. We can like in our head we could say we forgive, but forgiveness is such a healing, thing. It's like that needs to be acknowledged. I'm really proud of you. I still have to do that like all the time. Most people won't do it. So that makes me happy. All right. All right, let's see here. So I'm gonna create your account once you text me that you did the non-disclosure agreement,
okay.
and I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna log into an account that I have.
Okay.
But this will let me see here. It'll look very similar. Did you ever, let's see here. So you'll get your account details to your email. And when you log in, you'll see a members area that looks like this. And you'll see Think and Thin Thrive over
Yeah.
here, and you'll just hit continue. And there's really only three things I want you to do today.
Okay.
You're gonna click this like start here thing up here.
Okay.
You're gonna watch this 24-minute video with Brittany.
Okay.
And then do you have access to a printer?
Yes.
You wanna print this 300 limiting beliefs page out. and you want to print it because it's you're gonna fill this out and you're gonna save it, and no one's gonna see this but you. You don't need to like turn it in. But the reason to do this is, you know, right now you know what you weigh.
Yeah.
6 months from now, you'll see the difference. You know what your eating patterns are today. In 6 months, you'll notice a difference. The 300 limiting beliefs are kind of to do that for all the internal stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
The reason to print it out is like I always tell people to put on some, music that kind of centers you a little bit. And you're just going to fill out this left-hand side with
Okay.
a number from 1 to 10. And Britt will kind of tell you how to do it in the video. And then the last thing today is just click on this Facebook group link and then join the private Facebook group. You'll click that and then just put in your email that you use to join. And as soon as you get accepted in, that might take a few hours.
Sure.
That'll start a chain reaction to where your coach will reach out to you, Casey,
Yeah.
and she'll take it from there.
Okay.
She'll help you find buddies. She'll make sure you know the calendar of calls, like when you're going to work with the group calls, like with Brett and things like that. And if you just do those three things, then momentum will eventually take over.
Okay.
But if you want, you can go through and then go through some of the bonus stuff if you want to. You can go listen to some old laser coaching calls, for example. The laser coaching calls is where the entire group jumps on and works with Brett one by one. You can click through and you can see what the first lesson is, for example. One thing I will tell you is I know you're a deep, kind of smart person. The program's a little slow for the first like few weeks.
Okay.
Like the first lesson is just intention, right? Kind of get you centered and things like that. But we have people who are kind of new to tapping.
Hmm.
They see all the case studies and the before and after pics, and they think it's going to be like boot camp and that they're going to do like, 20 hours a week or something. No, this is it's an undoing process. A lot of times you'll tap and you need things to settle and then come up, and then you keep working on it. But just do those three things
Okay.
today, and then that will, as soon as you do those three things, then you're in the orbit and you won't fall away. Like you don't have to worry about what should you do, like our team and everyone will make sure you get your coach, you find your buddies, you're where you're supposed to be,
Okay.
and then go celebrate. Just go, don't eat a bunch of like candy or chocolate or cookies.
Okay.
And
Great.
and that's it. That's it. You know, by you know how it we always say the program starts when you join. And you notice that after we talked, it was like all this stuff. Your subconscious is like, oh, it's go time,
That's
right?
exactly what it was like. I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't go back to sleep, and all these things kept fomenting in my brain. And I was like, I have to get up and find some paper and just start writing.
That's
Yeah.
good. Most people wouldn't do that. But will you just take a picture with your phone and text it to me? Just
Sure.
just like the first page. I love that. I love that stuff. That's you're one of the rare ones where it's like when you start doing this, it deep stuff comes up to heal. And
Mhm.
that's why I love this work.
Well, I will certainly do that. It's in my bedroom, and I'm not at my bedroom right now, so but I will send it to you for sure.
Last thing, before I forget, like you'll need to check your email for that non-disclosure agreement.
Yes, I saw that it came through.
Now, are you able to, because you've been emailing, are you getting like my text? Are you able to text at all?
I am able to text. However, I don't use my phone very often because in 2022, I was in a motor vehicle accident with a truck that carries cars, ran into my van and pulled me into a rotary and left me with my tires messed up and everything, bumpers ripped off my car, and it was a mess. And I had a head injury. And since then, the phone, even with large print, it doesn't happen in all areas of my phone, and texts are smaller print. To make a text, I have bigger print, but to receive a text, it's smaller. So I don't use my phone as much because
All
it's
right.
just hard to see.
We'll just either text or email me once you
Okay.
sign that because it won't let me create the account until that's on there. But I'll check again in an hour if I don't hear from you. But we'll get your account created later today, and you'll
Okay.
you'll be off to the races and go celebrate. It's like usually in the summer, I'll tell people to like go for a walk and put some music on and kind of anchor it, because it's your whole life's about to change.
Well, right now I'm in the midst of a snowstorm, so I'm not going to go for a walk tonight, but
Yeah, don't do that. I gotta jump off because I got one more
okay.
last call before I gotta take my
Okay.
fiance out to dinner because she forgets what I look like. Every time
Thanks
we
a
enroll
lot. I
for
really
Thrive.
appreciate your help.
Yeah, sorry, it's just hard to back and forth. But we got it working. We
Great.
got it working.
I'm
You're a
really happy.
sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. I mean this sincerely. There's lots of love here for you.
Thank you.
Lots
Thanks
of
a lot.
love.
And thank you for like starting that flood in my brain.
I didn't I didn't really it wasn't me. The work was you, right?
Yeah, but
So
you jump started it, you know?
I I
Okay.
it's you're gonna start jump starting other people too, right?
All
Because
right. Well, you have
Britt
a
jump
good
started
night.
me. You too, girl. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.